Okay, so this is gonna be a makeup tutorial video for my friends Dee and Adele, because I told them I would do this, and then I don't have any time, so I'm gonna do it now. I've never done this before, so don't hate me. Okay, the first thing I do, I don't use foundation, because it's a pain in the ass, if you ask me. So, personally what I use is the little Neutrogena sticky things, which we've already talked about, but for the sake of it, you have to turn them tons to get them to work. Also, I'm going to be using my web camera to do this, so we'll see how janky it looks. The first place I do it is under my eyes. I do it around my nose because I get a lot of acne around my nose. And any other little spots that I might have. And I do my cheeks because I have really, really, really red cheeks, and it becomes really apparent and awful. Okay. And then you just rub that in. Alright. Occasionally, depending on what I'm doing, I'll also do a little line right at the top of my brow. This isn't necessary, I just do it on occasion. Okay. The next thing I always do is eyeliner. I got a new thing of eyeliner. I do eyeliner first and mascara absolute last because I think it's a pain in the ass to put on eyeshadow with mascara. Most people I know don't do it that way, but I try and do a much lighter line on the bottom lid rather than top lid, if you do the bottom lid at all. I've also had some people tell me don't do that. So that's entirely up to you. I'm going to do a little bit of a wing. Also, it's usually pretty useful to get Q-tips, stuff like that, to fix any fuck-ups, but I don't have any in the house right now, so that's what I got. The next thing that I do is eyeshadow, and I have a particular brush that I favor, which is this guy. Yeah. I also have taken, when I use cream eyeshadow rather than powder, I tend to use something like this because it's a little more firm, and it helps with controlling the cream. I'm just gonna do, I might do each eye different eyeshadow. Okay, so after you, something that I was told by like a makeup professional at some convention somewhere in the world is that you have your brush at this point after you've just done this, but what ends up happening is if you put it on your face just like this, you get a big glob of one color and then it kind of fades out and looks normal. So tap tap the edge of the brush over this to kind of get some of the, hope I'm not getting this on my computer, to get some of it out so it's a little less, and then go for it. So I put my color on this side about halfway over my eyelid. I did not tap that out enough. I put a bit lighter on the other side. And then if it's super blotchy in some places, I'll use my hand, but I generally don't advocate using hands. And that's the other thing, if you don't tap it out enough, when I put it on, I always get some blob right there. gonna have to fix that properly. I go a little bit above the eyebrow so that when my eyes are open, you can see some of it, because I don't understand what the point of makeup is if you can't see it. Alright, so there's Just Red, which is very dramatic right now. And then I have this little palette. Okay, I don't know the brand of this. So the brand of this is Milani. It probably looks dumb, but it's a set of like shiny, beautiful colors in between. The one I probably use the most is the lightest one, because it helps take some of it down, especially since I use red all the time. That's my go-to color. Alright, so you load that up. Again, tap it out. And then I put it on the inside part. I put a little bit underneath my eye on this side, which is really not necessary. I only do it sometimes. But then I try and bring some of the brighter color back into it, so it kind of is a gradient. So that's what I usually do as kind of a baseline color, but you can also add a third color, something that's a little bit darker. Tap it out along the top side of your lid. Again, mix it down a little bit. And that gives it just a little bit more. Yeah. So that's one eye. That's pretty general to what I do. Let's see. I was only going to do red, but I can technically do another color on the other side. Then I'd have to take half of my makeup off. Sorry, I'm going back on what I initially was thinking to myself. I can do purple. I must always do the color first. Kind of gives you the basis and you can correct over it. And if, like, I want to do this a lot more dramatic, like if I was going out to a club and I wanted to look super special, I could add more red on top of that and fade it in and make it way more dramatic. And it'll still look good. Yeah, okay. This is me bullshitting, so. Alright. I'm just going to put this on the lid. Got a little bit over, but that's alright. And I like wipe my brush out after every color. Can't really see that because I'm doing it on my pants. The other benefit of tapping out your brush over your makeup thing is that you pretty much have a constant supply of powder sitting on the top. We're gonna do just a little line, basically, like a secondary color in another level. Again, I did not tap that out nearly well enough. because that's very, very dramatic. Now take that down some by rubbing it with my finger. And then again with my tone palette. This time I'm not going to use the super lightest, I'm going to use the second lightest. Really pretty steel gray. And this time I'm going to basically do what I did over here as well with that same thing. Make it lighter on the inside. Put this color again on the underside of this part of my eye. So you see that kind of lost some of the purple. So I'm going to take it and put a little bit of it back in. Very little bit of it. I'm going to tap this out a lot. Alright, there we go. Then I'm going to go ahead and put another dark line right here at the bottom again, because I like the effect it has. Alright, there we go. So that's eyeshadow. There's a lot of ways you can do eyeshadow. There's a lot of different ways. This is the standard way that I use. Color, light, fade it in. I never really have problems with it. It's good too because, especially if you don't put this dark line here, you can do this really lightly and it's just kind of like a nice, good day color rather than crazy color. Mascara. I'm currently using Voluminous Butterfly Waterproof. I don't know. This is like the second time I've used it. One more thing. Eye torture device. In good theory, you're supposed to use this before you use mascara. Though I never used to do that, so you're supposed to hold it for a couple seconds and it feels really weird. I have no idea if I'm doing this completely right since I can't feel it and I can't really see it because of the camera. Alright, so we're just going to assume that's okay. I usually do a little bit on the bottom, but I can't see my bottom eyelashes in the camera, so that's not going to work out very well for me. Yeah, there's that. The other thing, the last thing I do, I don't do anything, well, that's not true, I do use bronzer sometimes. I love lip stains a lot. This is my e.l.f. lip stain. It's $2, and it's the Crimson Crush color. Give it a little bit of time before a lip stain dries to smush it around. Not a whole bunch, but you do have some. And that's not gonna come off all day. It's great. Like nothing. And that's why I love lip stain. Alright, so bronzer. Bronzer's an interesting thing, because if you use too much of it, you just kind of look tan. All over, and slightly fake tan. But same premise. Get a large brush this time. This is the one I'm going to use today, and most every day, because that's the brush I have. So you do the same thing with bronzer palettes. They often have all this extra color. So you want to like swirl around the whole thing, pick up all the colors it has, tap it out. what I've always done is you hit your temples. Basically, you hit anything the sun would hit first, so it's a little bit more bronze. And when you go for your temples, do it into your hairline. If you stop, it will look weird. And you can go along your brows a little bit, but don't go crazy with that. And then you want to hit the top of your cheeks just a little bit. And I usually do the top of my nose, but okay. Usually it does that, which takes too much because I've put concealer there. But so to make your face look skinnier, basically you want to hollow out this part of your face, right? So if you suck in your cheeks, you get this little point, that's where you want to stop any makeup. And where you start is basically right up here at the top of your ear, and you want to follow your cheekbone down. And again, into the hairline, because otherwise it will look weird. So there's that side, which looks more defined. And you don't want to do just a straight line. You do want to carry it a little bit at an angle, so it's kind of like a triangle into your face, to kind of help hollow that area out. Make sure all of it goes back. And then you can also do a line of bronzer underneath your chin to kind of help define everything. If you do stage makeup, this is something you almost always do because bright lights wash you out. When you do stage makeup, you also define your nose, the sides of your nose, with darker. But we're not on stage, so. Alright. Well, that's it, realistically. Yeah. If you're super washed out, you can put like a little line of bronzer up here at the top of your forehead. Yeah, that's it. That's what I've got for you guys. There are other ways to do eyeshadow. Mostly I just bullshit it if I don't want to do this. And just, yeah. Thanks.